Welcome. Welcome to the Football Weekly Show. It's the launch, ladies and gentlemen. We're here, we're doing it, we're making it happen. We are live. Oh my cheddar cheese, people. This has been a long time coming. We've been building this for a while, and now we've made it happen. So, what I want to know is, are you happy? Let me get the right cameras. I think this is going to be my baby for the time. I'm going to play with this one. This is the one I need for me. We're going to get close. Me and you. Just me and you. Because I'm coming to talk to you. I'm coming to get cozy with you. There we go. Look at that sexual chocolate. Now, my name is the Heartman. Certain people know me as Darren Hart, but for today and for the rest of our time here on the Football Weekly Show, you can refer to me as the Heartman. I'm going to be the person who gets to the heart of the real football manner. And I'm going to make sure you can understand football is my dream. Football is my game. Every fan is a pundit. All of you guys watching this show, you've got an angle on football. You've got a take on football. You've got a view. Here on the Football Weekly Show, your view is very important to us. So right from the get-go, the first thing I want you to understand is your Twitter account, your Snapchat, your Insta, whatever account you work with, whatever social media you run with, connect with us. Make yourself a presence in our show and we will communicate with you. So, the Football Weekly Show. At Footy Weekly, that's the Twitter. Football Weekly, Snapchat, Insta. You can find us. Don't be a stranger, because we're all friends around here. I'm the Heartman and I'm here for you. That's how we're doing it. If you want to get at me personally, at Original Heartman, I will take it. Just so when I sing clear, I haven't had a trim yet. I haven't had a shape up. It's the launch. I'm still going rough and ready. Just like the setup, we're getting a bit rough and ready. We're going to have our logos flying around soon. But right now, what we're really going for is the content. And right now, I want to get into our content. What we're looking at right now, we're going to be discussing the weekend's football action. The winners and losers, the highs and lows, what I like to call my guy. The player out there who's not getting the true love that they deserve for excelling at this early stage of the season. I'm going to be looking at the talking points. I've studied Twitter. I've been looking at what's getting you upset. I've been seeing the issues that are popped off. Mane, the high boot, the push in the face. Red card, not a red card. Then the next day, Richie does it, and it's nothing. Okay. What are we going to do? How are we going to play this all out? So, this is what we're going to be looking at, people. We're going to be looking at football through our eyes. Not Alan Hansen's, not Gary Lineker's, not their eyes, but our eyes. So firstly, we're just going to break down the weekend's games. I'm just going to get the results up so I'm nice and clear for you. Arsenal. Finally, you got the win you needed. After an international break to come back, to play Bournemouth and to get a 3-0 win, you needed that. You really, really need that. Arsenal fans, I saw it. I saw the worry. And 3-0 against Bournemouth, to be honest, that's what I call an Arsenal result. Danny Welbeck looks amazing. Having a pre-season has done that man the world of good. I know Man United fans have still gone, he should still be part of our team. I know that Mourinho came out and said if he was still manager, he probably would never have sold him. But I think Arsenal there, if he stays fit, if he stays the man kicking, I honestly reckon he's going to be the one to hold you through this season. So Danny Welbeck, I'm loving your work back now, sir. Brighton 3, and West Brom 1. Now Brighton, Chris Houston, you went to the same school as me, St Bonaventurian. So I've got nothing but love for Brighton right now. But I've also got a lot of love for what you're trying to do over there. The football you're trying to play. Brighton fans, I saw how excited you were on Twitter about the level of performance. You look good. I cannot lie to you and say you don't. And if I was going to say, are you going to stay up this year? I can't lie to you and say that. I can't lie. I am looking at you guys as being in a dogfight this year to try and stay up. But I think you're going to play it your way. And I think with Chris Houston, I think undoubtedly is one of the best managers out there. And I think didn't get the respect he deserved at Tottenham. And I think the way he was treated at Newcastle, I think was just ridiculous. But we'll get on to Newcastle in a minute. But right now, I have to say, Chrissy, loving your work. Absolutely loving your work. Burnley, Crystal Palace. Burnley got the win. And to be absolutely honest, what happened there, it was just crazy. It was just absolutely crazy because Burnley getting a great win, Crystal Palace, to be honest, I thought what Crystal Palace did, they gave a performance for their manager. Obviously now, they don't have a manager. The manager's now been sacked. That there is crazy, that there is madness, but that is the state of football right now. And that is what we're going to be debating at some point in this show. Everton Spurs. You know, people who know me, you know that Heartman is a full Tottenham fan. I was very happy to get that win, a 3-0 victory. Harry Kane, we know it's September now. We know August is done and dusted. Kane's back in the building, scoring goals for fun, looking great. If I was you, Harry Kane, your 100th goal, don't tell people it was a cross. Claim it as a goal, bruv. Just say, I meant that, I'm that good. I'm that guy. I would have claimed it. But he's an honest soul. He's a very, very honest soul. We got the 3-0 win. Eriksen looks great. We have a few debutants games. And to be honest, as a Tottenham fan, I'm very, very happy right now. In Poch we trust. I'm trusting my guy. But I see another angle of Tottenham fans. We're a little bit concerned about Wembley. We were away. Wembley had this little hoodoo over us, and I will be talking about that in more detail later. Now, Man City, 5. Liverpool, 0. Who saw that coming? Nobody saw that coming. The betting shop didn't see that coming. Nobody saw it coming. It was crazy. That result there, they sent football crazy. And also, after the back of Liverpool dealing with Arsenal in the way they did. The fact that Man City absolutely dominated Liverpool. Yes, they had 10 men. I hear that. But as a Liverpool fan, alarm bells must have been ringing. You didn't look good at the back. You didn't look like you were confident in that way. And that was a little bit shocking. And I think Klopp has to look at how you structure your setup going forward. Because 10 men doesn't mean you fall apart like that. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 more games that I'm going to be talking about after the ads. We've got a little ad break that we're going to be sliding in. If you want to get your ad on the show, please feel free to contact us. So no, the Football Weekly Show is here. We're here to stay. We're not going nowhere. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back. If you're watching on a train, kick back. If you're in the front room, kick back. You're safe with me. I'm the Heart Man. I've got you covered. You're at the Football Weekly Show. Enjoy the ad. I'll be right here when you come back. I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here. I told you. I'll be here waiting for you. When you come back, I'll be right here where you need me. So we're going to go to our last 3 games of the weekend, and this is what I'm going to be looking at. Southampton, Watford. Watford got a 2-0 win. Watford have been playing absolutely brilliantly. The setup there's looking great. The system's looking great. They're a team that I'm very impressed by this season. Stoke, Man United. Stoke, Mark Hughes. What you're doing, we're going to be talking about in depth in a little while. Swansea, Newcastle. Newcastle got the win, and boy, to be honest, that was potentially one of the worst games I've seen so far this season. I'm just going to be really honest with you. It wasn't great football. It wasn't a great game. But for Benitez being away, you needed to get the win for him. Now, Football Weekly fans, you're now fans, we're now friends, we're now family. I'm not going to be doing this show by myself. There's another sofa that I'm going to be bringing people to join me on. I'm going to have 2 guests for our first show, our launch show. We've got Spencer Farron right there. That's my empty sofa that I'm going to be filling with some wonderful, beautiful people. Spencer Farron is going to be joining me. He's a boxing promoter. He's now an absolute legend in the boxing game, and he's going to be coming on here, and we're going to be inducting him, breaking him into the world of football. He says he's not really a football fan, but I know he is. The next person I'm going to be joined on the sofa by is a good friend of mine, Ricky Norwood. You may know him as Fat Boy from EastEnders. He's not fat. He never has been. He never will be. And he's going to be here with me, debating football, talking the passion that he has for Spurs and his passion for the sport. So I've got 2 great guests joining me. 2 wonderful people going to be in the building with me, and I can't wait. Before I bring them on, I did say I was going to talk about my guy, my player who I feel is not getting the respect that he deserves or getting the appreciation he deserves. That player is Chris Wood. Chris Wood of Burnley. He's the person, I think, who has started the season tremendously. The New Zealand striker, brought from Leeds, came up to the Premier League at a side like Burnley, where you can say that football isn't the football of Man United, Chelsea, where the supply may not be as great as everybody else. But what he's done, he's brought back what I call the Shearer era. He's brought back that kind of player, that striker who is dogged, is rough, but has good feet. The goal he scored at the weekend against Crystal Palace. Now, people said, oh, it's an easy goal. It was a bad back pass. He latched onto it. He had days to work out where he was going to put it. But as a striker, those instincts are key. As much time as you think he had, the pressure of that moment, he took it beautifully. So Chris Wood, that's for you, my friend. You're my guy. My team, Stoke. Stoke so far started this season. They played against Arsenal, got a win. Played against Man United and got a draw. So you look at those 2 games in their first 4 and you think there should have been a problem for Stoke. But what Mark Hughes is doing, the ethos of football that he's created, and the way in which Stoke go about their business, they're a problem. If you're a top 10 side, you know that Stoke is going to be an issue for you. Going to Stoke is not a pretty place to go. I'm not looking forward to it when Spurs go there. I'm not, because it's going to be difficult. But that's what Stoke do. Now, I've done my team, I've done my guy. Now I need you. All of you guys, all the people watching the show on YouTube, I need you to make sure that you keep promoting the show, keep selling the show, keep letting people know it's happening. And the way you do that is by interacting with it. If you're playing football this week, if you've got a game, be it midweek for your school, your college, be it your pub team, be it your work team, whatever team you're playing for, I want you to get in touch with us. I want you to send us a tweet, a Snapchat, an Insta, a Facebook. Send us something. Just don't poke me. Don't poke me. But send us something so we can get in touch with you and we can promote you. I want to celebrate your victories. I want to celebrate your goals. If someone caught good footage of it, send it in to us. Because this show is not just purely about Premier League players who look great. It's about the whole world of football. Because that's what we want to embrace. We want to embrace the whole world of football. Give everyone a platform. Be it the greats, be it the good, be it the funny looking. We want everybody to have a platform right here on the Football Weekly Show. And that's what we're aiming to do. Now, when my guests join me on the sofa, we're going to be debating, first and foremost, Mane. I've looked at Twitter. There have been some really, really interesting views on it. People don't know which way to go. I've even seen that Trevor Sinclair has got involved, and he's like, look, he should have been a yellow card for Mane. He shouldn't have been sent off. I watched the whole madness on Match of the Day 2, where Chris Sutton was falling out with everybody because he didn't want to take it. Now, I got it put to me by a young man on Twitter. He works for the Metropolitan Police. He said, don't name check me. Don't ask me why. He said, look, break it down, Hartman. They're saying that Mane wasn't looking at the individual. He wasn't looking at the goalkeeper. He had his eyes firmly on the ball. And what happened was therefore an accident. He didn't mean it. So therefore, he shouldn't be punished because it was an accident. I said, hold on. That don't make sense. He agreed. And he said, Hartman, flip it this way. I work for the police. If you're driving your car and you're not looking at what you're doing, texting on your phone or doing something you shouldn't, and you knock someone over, should you be in trouble for it? Of course you should. The incident had an impact. The keeper's face looked mash up. He had boots all down it. It was a horrible tackle. It was a horrible thing. He was at head height when he should have put his head there, not his boot. So I can't sit here and defend Mane. What I can say is that this is going to change football for the season. We are now going to have to look at referee decisions because not 24 hours later, Richie has an incident where his foot is about the same height, nearly takes a guy out. Again, nearly. There was minimal contact. But is it the act that should be punished? If any player puts his foot at that height, should we then be punishing that player? This is what I want you guys to debate. This is what I want you to be tweeting us. So at Football Weekly, I want you to be all over it right now. I want you to tweet us. I want you to be shouting us going, Mane, Richie, high boot, what's the issue? Because next week, guys, we are going to be debating it all. We're going to use your tweets. We're going to quote you. Your words will come out of my mouth. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I want you to keep bringing it to me, keep sending it to me, and we're going to go for it. Remember, at Footy Weekly is the Twitter, at Original Heartman, if you want to get directly to me. I'm not going to run from it. Like I said, I ain't had a shape up yet, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Now, as I park mine until I get my guests, I need to also look at the Wembley issue for Tottenham. Now the Champions League's about to start. We're going to have Champions League this week. I cannot wait. I don't know about you football fans, but the Champions League, just the music, gets me excited. Gets me going in a way that I cannot explain. But right now, it's about to start this week. Chelsea have Champions League commitments. Tottenham have Champions League commitments. Now, Man United, etc. We know the Champions League side, and we know that Arsenal's not in it. Arsenal fans, I'm not going to attack you, I promise. So, what we're now going to look at is how it's going to affect the teams that are going to be competing for the league, like Chelsea's. How will Chelsea fare this year because they didn't have Champions League last year? How will Tottenham fare doing Champions League when they're not feeling Wembley right now? There's a lot of issues that we're going to have to be looking at. However, I need to get my guest out with me. I need to fill the chair so we can really debate it. So what I need you guys to do is to relax for a minute. I'm going to get an add-on. We're going to sit back for a second. Don't try and make a cup of tea. It's not that fast. But remember, if you're watching it on YouTube, you can pause it. Think about it. So this is what I want you to do, guys. Take a minute. I'm going to take a few seconds. And when I come back, this sofa is going to be full with guests, and we're going to be good to go. Remember, it's the Football Weekly Show. See you in a moment.
of why we're here is underrepresentation.
It's a pleasure to see everyone outside of a working environment, you know, because I only see a lot of them in a working environment. So to actually get to talk to the likes of Chris Powell, you know, Chris Hughton as well, it's great for myself, and especially if I want to become a manager in the future, you know, I want to find out what it's like.
This will be pushing the cause obviously forward.
At the moment, there's a lot of us that are not confident enough, and if there's more of us, they see it, they believe it.
I know that one hand can't clap, and I thank you for clapping with me.
For ex-black players and black players playing the game now, it's a big evening.
We're back, we're good to go. The theme tune's kicking in and we're good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone anymore. I've got people with me. I feel like I'm in a good space now. I feel like I can work properly because now I've got people to join me. I've got the family in with me and we're going to go in on some more football debate. Now, firstly, I've got Mr. Ricky Norwood. He's come to join me. He's there, he's in the building. I also have Spencer Farron. Now, Spencer, we have to do something today.
Okay.
And what we have to do is baptize you with your football team. We've got to baptize you.
What team are you?
Tottenham, man. There's only one team, bro. Come on.
Like, actually, FIFA in the welterweight challenge world title challenger, he's a proper Tottenhamite, man. Trust me.
Now, I would love to corrupt you and make you a Spurs fan, but you know the kind of way football operates in your South London, born and bred, yeah? You're South London, yeah? 100%. So obviously, if I gave you a North London side, that could be a problem. You go back to South and there could be issues. See, I've got your back, Spencer. I don't want to set you up. So it's kind of QPR, Crystal Palace, or Chelsea. Now, yeah, that's your options. Because you don't really want Fulham.
I'm going to be wrong. If that's the case, then it's going to be... Seriously,
that's you don't want to watch football no more, man.
Now, on the roads, if that's the case, then it's got to be... Why? I know enough guys who play ball.
Yeah, I know.
All right. It's going to be Palace.
You're going to take Palace?
It's
cool.
going to take Palace.
I like that. And the thing is, it's a good time to take Palace.
Yeah?
Because Palace have got dramas. Yeah. And I think that's where we're going to head to first. Because today, Palace sacked their manager. They literally said to their manager, 4 games in, 77 days in the job, Frank de Boer has now been fired. Now,
that's disgraceful.
It is disgraceful. And I'm glad as a fan you're upset, Spencer. I can see the upset.
Don't try to put no fan in there.
You went there. But Spencer, I saw that. I saw that. You're like, I'm upset. I felt the passion. I felt the passion. Now, with QPR, with Crystal Palace, sorry, they sacked their manager, Frank de Boer, 77 days in. And how do you feel about that, Rick, watching it play out? The chairman comes out and says last night on social media, it's a problem, we're not playing well, the fans are upset, but let's stick together. That was the closing statement, let's stick together. Then morning, he's fired his manager. What's that saying?
Yeah, well, it's saying that they're confused, first and foremost. But, you know, Crystal Palace have still got the squad that they had from last year.
Exactly.
Pretty much. They've only had maybe 3-4 signings, and they have had no time to bed in whatsoever. And they're totally changing their philosophy of football. So from like long ball, direct football, they're trying to play the Ajax way, and that's why they brought in Frank to kind of have a bit of flair about their play. And that's not going to happen overnight. You know, it's never going to happen overnight. So I think it's really sad that he didn't even get 10 games. He didn't even get the 5 games that Sam got. So when Sam Allardyce came in last year, he had the first 5 games he was in charge of. He lost the first 5 and then got points on the 6th. So there was dramas there. It's the same squad. I think they're kind of a little bit out of order. Do you know what I mean? If you saw the goal yesterday as well, it was a dodgy back pass.
Yeah, it was a shocking back pass, and Chris Wood took the goal brilliantly. And it's not his fault. It's not the ball's fault. And I think you're right. He didn't get Sam's treatment. Sam got 1 extra game. But also I think football has changed dramatically in the money that is available in football, and I think that chairmen are now looking at it as a financial thing rather than a footballing thing. I know they said they sacked him for footballing reasons, but when you had that meeting, like if we go for any job, promoting, whatever you're doing, you pitch yourself. You go, I'm the right guy for this project. But it's a long-term project. It's like setting up a boxing fight and them saying to you, you're involved, Spencer. You're like, yeah, cool, I'm involved. Then into week 1 of the training camp, go, no, Spencer, you're not involved anymore. That don't make no sense because you're still building the product because you know what the end game is. And that's what they've done to him.
Yeah, but you have to look on like whatever they had in their prediction mind to say like what they wanted to do. Maybe it was like, I don't know, personality clashes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
More
absolutely.
than you don't think so?
Yeah.
What? I mean, that should happen in the interview. So he's only been in the
But
job.
it's the players' personalities maybe in the clash because obviously they're not in that interview. They've had the meeting, chairman to manager. They like the philosophy. He's come into the changing room and it may not have gelled. There may be players there that weren't happy about the way he spoke to them or the way he wants them to play. And that
But
could
he's the manager though.
Yeah, he's the manager, and obviously he's trying to go, this is my way, this is my rules. And if they're not happy with that, sometimes now, obviously, with the transfer window changing dramatically next season, players now will only be allowed to be bought at the beginning, and that's it. And then when the transfer window opens again at Christmas, you go again. Now, I would like to suggest that the Football League looks at it and says, you know what? The only other person who can be bought in and out is the manager. So the deadline works for the managers too. The transfer deadline is the same. So at the start of the season, you can change your manager, whoever you want. Then when the season starts, you cannot change your manager until the January transfer window. I think that should be the rule.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least like a 3-month minimum. I mean, it's the same.
Yeah.
But like, at least is there some type of clause where you get at least 10 games?
Because it's a project. It's about a project.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like, this is a very, very money-driven industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and you got to think about it. Like I'm saying, there must be something going on. Because I'm saying, if I just come and someone say, well, you're fired now, I was smashing up everything, yeah, but oh my goodness gracious. Well, I kicked down me and you together, we'll just kick down a couple of things.
You'd have taken it out.
But what if they brought you in? It's a power puncher, do you know what I mean? He's a power puncher. Now you've got to turn him into a counter puncher. First 4 fights, he loses, and then they're like, actually, no.
No, but you know what? On the rules, if that was the case, if like on the same thing, like on the parallels, if that was boxing, then I would say, well, yeah, when you lost your first 4, I'm not the guy for you.
Okay.
Furthermore, I don't even think boxing's for you. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think that's an interesting way of looking at it because, like you said, you get 4 fights, and in that time you've gone, I've worked you out, I've sussed you out, we've worked out our relationship, we're trying to build something, it's clearly not working. Yeah. So, for a footballer's perspective, we think 4 games isn't a lot of time. So, in boxing terms.
No, it's totally different.
But
I
love the time scale of it.
Yeah,
though.
the time scale. No, it's still. But I'm saying it's still a liberty. 4 games, I say you're gone. That is a liberty.
Yeah,
that's a liberty.
In terms of boxing and football comparisons, Leon McKenzie, as we've just
heard,
has just boxed at the weekend and is now retired from boxing. Yeah. But obviously, I first and foremost knew him as a footballer, and that transition he's gone from footballer to boxing. Yeah, do you think?
Guys has done this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Woodhouse.
Do you think there'll be others that would follow suit? Do you feel if you could pick a footballer, and go, yeah, he could box.
Lukaku.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
That'd
big,
be a
he's
heavyweight.
strong.
Yeah. That would be a heavyweight.
Ibra, Zlatan.
Yeah.
I would say with someone like Leon McKenzie, you have to look on his family base.
Oh, absolutely.
Free weight world champion.
The history of the McKenzie name.
His dad was a superb boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, British Commonwealth and European champion.
Yeah.
Who boxed Ray Leonard in the 1976 Olympics. Mm-hmm. So he's come from that anyway.
Yeah, it's in his blood.
But I remember when Leon was going on with things. I'm in football. When Leon was going on with things, I'm talking like 98.
Yeah.
He was going on with things. I remember like him doing Keep You Up. He's on TV and he had on some crocodile shoes and he's doing Keep You Up. So I say, right. So I've always known Leon. I've known Leon from baby days. Yeah. So when he said he wanted to go into boxing, a lot of people were cynical and saying like, what are you gonna do that for? But when you see like, this is actually your background, this is where you've come from. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of cynical you going into football, not going into boxing. So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
totally.
I rate him for the fact that he wanted to follow his passion after he finished with football, and he went through lots. He went through bouts of depression, which he speaks openly about, and he does a lot of motivational speaking about it now. He went through a lot. So for him to go through all of that drama and then come out and say, I want to go and box, I think he won what did he win? I think he won an English title. So he won an English title, and then he tried to box for a title the other day, and then he lost, and then he said, well, that's it, I'm retiring. But he's close to 40. So you got to think, boxing terms, that's unheard of.
Absolutely.
But I give him all the respect in the world because people don't realise that how brave you got to be just to step into that ring.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Right. And people were cynical at the fact that he went in
Yeah.
in the first place, but they weren't that cynical because, like I'm saying, they knew his background, his heritage of like where he's come from and like who he's been around.
Yeah.
So he's been in the gym from a baby, you know what I mean? And God bless him, he sent me a really nice message today. So, you know what I mean? I speak to him regularly and like, it's sad for him to go out, but what I'm trying to say is like the mere fact that you went in there, to me, you've come out a champion anyway, because you're champion life, so I give him a lot of
And right here, we've got a lot of love for him, same way. Like, we've got a lot of love for the Mackenzie and what he did as a boxer, as a footballer, there's a lot of love here. Now, talking about depression, and we've just had Aaron Lennon, who quite publicly went through a spout of depression or mental health issues. And I think it's really interesting that you look at boxing like a gladiator sport, and that football has become such a glamorized sport as well, and that people are idolized and worshipped for what they do. And I think that is the money side of both sports becoming an issue that could create the problems that we're dealing with now? Because it is lonely. You step into a ring, and that's probably the loneliest place to be. The training camps must be intense. You're by yourself. As a footballer, you get paid a lot of money, but you can't go out and do anything, so to speak. It's quite a closed environment.
Why can't you do anything?
I think that a lot of footballers speak about how social media now is so active. And if they go out and they're having a drink or if they're doing something, there's always someone who's going to pat them or photos, and they get looked at in a bad light. Look at Rooney, for example. Went out, he just signed it back to Everton, goes out for a drink. Rooney, why were you driving? Uber. Come on now, Alison Lee. Just get a lift, blood. Just walk. Come on now, think about it. But those things happen, and it's a problem. And so then you can become quite closed. You can become quite drawn in. And is that, do people need to speak about it as professional sportsmen? Do they need to speak about these issues more?
Listen, I don't just think it's just like as professional sportsmen. I think it's anything to do with limelight. On a real sense, anything to do with limelight. Look, let me say this now. If you was a lesser man, Rick, you'd be dead right now. You know that? You and Fat Boy, both of you be dead. Your character be dead, you'd be dead. Even though I don't think they killed the character. No, listen to me. Let me just say this thing about
Say
Spotlight.
how it is, Spencer. Say how it is.
The thing of this Spotlight, this attention, it was, someone wrote a book about Billie Holiday, and I was reading a book the other day, and he said, like, to kill someone, to really kill someone, is to take away what they love. So you have to remember, like, you create certain things. And the genius of your imagination, you create things. So you create a persona about yourself that is not actually real. And sometimes you can get gassed up because certain things start happening to you.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm sure, like, when you turn up at EastEnders, you must have been like they're on your contract must have been like for two episodes, and you turn it up for like 6-7 years. I remember turning you on all the time. This Fat Boy, you know what I mean? Talking his slang on the TV and everything. I was like, what's about this boy? Talk proper English, right? But when you get drawn into this thing, that's the thing. When you get drawn into it, sometimes it's not real.
It's the high and the low as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the high and the low, and you know, like everybody's human. Yeah, it doesn't matter how kind of glamorized or how much spotlight is on you. We're all human, and we all got to deal with family issues, your own issues, house issues, and stuff like that. And kind of trying to deal with that within in the limelight is hard. So if you walk out, I mean, I've had it where I had a tweet, and it was like, yeah, I saw you walking down the high street. Cheer up, mate. And I'm like, what who do I need to be cheery for?
Yeah.
Who do I need to be smiling for? Or just because my face was straight, why does that mean I was upset? Do you know what I mean? So there is.
Now you got a screw face. I just ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, you got a bit of
Wow,
a screw face sometimes.
the backstage issues are coming out already.
Yeah, it's true. He's like, his face is a bit screwed now. Just calm down.
See, you're not even going to take you on, you know. Is that no, I know Spencer's history. Don't
Hey, you joking, bro? I know his gardens. You know what I mean?
It's a lot. But it's funny you say that, like, about how the outside world view you, what people's perceptions are of you. And I think this last transfer window was really important for how certain players were getting viewed. Obviously, transfer fees went crazy.
Yeah.
But you had certain players who wanted to leave and didn't leave. Certain players who were trying to orchestrate moves away and they didn't happen. Then you've got to come back. Like, you've got Costa now at Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
He's got to come back. He's in Brazil. He's sunning himself. He expected to get a transfer. Ain't happening. So you've got to come back. You've got Barkley, who did the move to Chelsea. I keep wanting to call Chelsea Crystal Palace today. Don't ask me why. They wanted to do that move. He got there, didn't want it, came back. He's now got to integrate himself back into the dressing room. There are a number of the players
The big one, Sanchez, right?
Sanchez. Now, Arsenal fans booed him at the weekend.
Why?
That's what I'm trying to understand. I don't understand.
Why did they move?
Because,
why are you laughing?
Because he's Tottenham. That's why he's being bag out of order. He's just being bag out of order. Why did he do it?
Well, no, I mean, if you heard the story, so Sanchez believed that the transfer went through while he was on international duty with his Chile teammates. The Chile goalkeeper is Claudio Bravo, who plays for Man City, where he was going. He got the call up in his dressing room saying that the move's gone through, and this is like there's only a couple of hours before the window shuts. The move's gone through. He's celebrated. He's gone down. He celebrated with the whole Chile team. Claudio Bravo's like, yeah, oh what? We're gonna be at City together. And then 5 minutes later, he gets the call going, no, you know what? It's not happening. Yeah, because basically, like Arsenal needed a replacement before they let him go, and so they didn't get a replacement in time.
But
they tried
the
to
fans
last minute.
booed him, and this is where we talk about like what other people see of it. Now, Arsenal fans, some of you're booing him. Don't ask me why you're booing him. You need to tell me. I need you to tweet me and make me understand, because he wanted to move. You agreed to sell him, and then you didn't sell him, and I don't understand why you did that. It's confusing. You really confused the guy, because he asked to leave. You were going to sell him. Then you kept him, and now he's being booed. That don't make no sense. Another thing that doesn't make sense to me is why Tottenham can't win at Wembley.
Well,
That's what don't make no sense to me.
We've only had 2 games.
I just want to know that. Why can't Tottenham win at Wembley?
We've only had two. Well, I mean, this season we've only had 2 games, and both games we played actually really well. I was at both of them, Chelsea and Burnley. And Chelsea basically.
You're Tottenham fan, ain't you?
Hey,
Brother,
bro,
go in,
certified.
man.
Don't worry, Crystal Palace are going to start sending you tickets and all sorts. It's certified.
Ricky is on this.
Bruv, I can't help it.
life.
I love my team, man. I love my team. But yeah, against Chelsea, we totally from my point of view, we totally dominated. They hardly had anything, and they get 2 shots and they score with it. You know, Burnley was the same. We had a ton of shots, and it was only the last 4 minutes of normal time, and then 4 minutes extra time, where our right back Trippier was super tired and just kept letting them in on that same side, and they ended up scoring. But you know what? Also, we had the August curse of Harry Kane not being able to score any goals.
September come, goals galore.
And I promise you, like, I was sitting there watching it, and he had about 6 shots where any other day they would have gone in.
So do you think that is there a problem? Is there a hoodoo? Is there an issue? Or is it just, until you get a win, you're just going to, it's the media. The whole pressure of, we've got to beat Chelsea. We haven't beat Chelsea in years. We haven't beat Arsenal. It's statistics. Is it to be worried about?
But you can look at West Ham and them moving to the new stadium, even the Gooners, when they moved to the Emirates, you know, there is a bedding in period, there is a transitional period.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the first time we moved to Wembley for Champions League games last year I think the problem was there. So I think the intimidation was there. I think, oh damn it, we've got our home at White Hart Lane, and then we're going to Wembley every couple of weeks, and the team didn't really play how we know they should play. They were totally unrecognisable. This year they look like Tottenham, and I think with the new signings coming in, you know, that little international break where everybody got time to bed in as well, I think we'll more than likely, you know, fly soon.
I'm hearing a lot of, and I'm hearing it from Arsenal fans, I'm hearing it from the gallery right now, they're all shouting about Tottenham and the pitch issue. We're playing on a bigger pitch, Tottenham can't handle a bigger pitch. Now, it's funny because I do see that as an issue, because I say we, because obviously I'm a big Tottenham fan, but Tottenham play a pressing game. And on a bigger pitch, that's a lot of grass to cover, and that's a tiring thing to do. And the energy you're expelling is a problem. So I'm going to be looking to see how it plays out, but I'm not going to put pressure on the top 4 finish. I'm just saying it right now.
What's the difference in correlation from?
It's a big expansion.
How big?
Because it's basically, the best way to look at it is going from 5-a-side pitch and then going to in between a full-size pitch, because you've got a lot more width and it's a lot deeper, and it's like getting in the gym and that 3 minutes to 5 minutes extension.
Sorry, seeing as you're a Tottenhamite as well, right? I just want to know this, right?
Hit me.
No, I just want to know this. This is what I'm saying. How much they get paid a week?
Too much.
Right. So you're telling me for that too much money that you can't run up and down for that time that you run up and down with? What difference does it make? What difference does it make?
No. I just think it's a bit like you was talking about Kell Brook about you know, the extra £2 on him kind of hurts his stamina. And I think maybe the extra 2 meters that way or 2 meters that way just hurt stamina last year. This year, I haven't seen it. The only reason that against the Burnley game that gap was there was Trippier, our right back, he came back from an injury, and I just think that 70 minutes he just gassed out. and
Yeah.
he just couldn't.
Yeah.
He just.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a whole team. It was just that right side. Do you know what I mean?
So the right side collapsed.
Yeah.
In the last 8 minutes.
Did you send death threats to Trippier?
No,
How
why?
you mean?
Listen,
We don't operate in that manner. Not Tottenham fans.
No. We'll win, lose or draw. We'll always back our team. You know what I mean? We've always been on a journey. Tottenham are always going to be on a journey, and we always do it the hard way. And I mean, I know we go together, but like we back and win, lose or draw.
Now,
And
before
that's
I
what
get
was
in
told.
trouble, because I know people go, it's all Tottenham. I'm not all Tottenham. I do my bits of Tottenham and then I
it
do.
sounds
Yeah,
like
I'm
you're
not
all
doing that.
We can go back to Palace.
No, but on a more bigger scale, on a broader note, we spoke about money then. How much do they get paid? Yeah. Now, obviously, we've just had probably one of the biggest money-making fights recently, the whole Mayweather-McGregor.
Yeah.
It's a money-making opportunity.
It was.
Do you look at the money that is in boxing and then you look at the money that footballers get paid, and do you think the gap's too big?
No,
No?
it's not too big. You have to. You get paid. But I mean, what was it? I think it was Les Brown that says you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Do you understand? So I'm not knocking nobody in football for somebody who has fought up for when the Premiership League first come out, and then you think right, and they're revolutionising it. Now you got to think like the money or the hub of money that's coming into boxing right now.
Yeah.
Like statistically, it's only 5% of professional boxers in the world that earn enough money to give up their day job.
Wowza.
5%.
Wowza.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot at all.
But when you think about it, in my mindset, is this that cream rises to the top? So if you're good enough, then you're going to earn that money.
Yeah.
And things are changing now. Things are changing. Where it's like in this country now, we've got like over 10 world champions.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is.
We're seeing like now where people complain about pay-per-view. I mean, I work at Sky, so I know the fight now. But people complain about pay-per-view. Oh, it's a rip-off and da. But somewhere the money's being generated, so the money's coming in now. So people are getting. It's like if you're on a small hall shows, the small hall shows, which are you're as a young fighter, there's 100 tickets, you got to sell those 100 tickets, and out of that, you got to pay for your opponent, you got to give me a bit as a promoter, then you got to take a bit. That's hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody's got to have some form of something that they got to think like it's out there, I want to go get it. So I'm not looking at nothing where you're looking at on the lines. Check this one out. Who's the highest footballer in the world now?
The highest paid?
Neymar.
Yeah, highest paid.
Yeah, Neymar.
Neymar.
220, no, 500 grand.
Yeah, 500
grand a week.
500 grand a week. So you got Neymar, go again. Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, about
Ronaldo's
450.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Kevin. Then you got in American basketball, you've got LeBron James,
Steph Curry,
and the never highest earner would be Durant.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
So you take them 5 guys
Yep.
and put them together with their career earnings for the year. Floyd Mayweather in one fight made more than them, man.
Clean them out.
Clean them out. Put them guys collectively together.
That's right.
Floyd Mayweather. So everybody, I can't knock you. You get what you deserve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have to look at what Floyd Mayweather's done for his career. And I've got to rate the guy. And
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
do I think like it was a bit of a joke fight, him and Conor McGregor? I don't think it was a bit. I think it was a lot of a joke fight.
Yeah.
But here's a guy in Conor McGregor that kind of spoke his destiny into existence, because he was saying from day dot, and so was Floyd Mayweather. They spoke in the distance. So I'm not knocking those guys for what they did.
Yeah,
what they done, they said, well, we can capitalize. So Floyd Mayweather said, okay, you can hate me. You can say I'm this. You can say I'm that. All right, you can hate me. Cool, but you have to pay to hate me. So I rate that. I'm high fiving him. I'm saying, like, boy, well done. And the same thing with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, as I've said so many times, Conor McGregor came up with a moral victory to the fact that he is the Jeremy Corbyn of professional boxing.
Yep.
Jeremy Corbyn never won the election, but
Yeah.
he kind of won us over in something.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's
He's
what
got
Conor
more
McGregor
fans
done.
now.
So, off of the back of that, on the parallels between what footballers get paid and to what boxers get paid, trust me, there's footballers in this country wish they was getting Andy Joshua's money.
Absolutely.
Right? I just want you to understand that.
Absolutely.
But we've got to say this again, there's only 5% of that.
Yep.
But it's expanding now. And like when you see like promoters like Eddie Hearn, he's expanding things where he's looking at kids and he's saying, well, I don't want you just to be like a British champ. I want you to be a pay-per-view star. So there's certain kids that, and it's sink or swim. So it's going to be hard for there's loads of young guys coming through now, like Lawrence Okoli, who went to the Olympics, Joshua Boateng, who went to the Olympics. You got so many good kids. I mean, Anthony Fowler, all these kids who are coming through. Now it's like, I don't want you just to be, oh, fighting on Sky TV. I want you to fight on Sky TV box office.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got to put the work in. So put the work in and then you're going to go get it. It will come, it's coming, I can see it.
I like that. And what I love is the fact is, like you say, the aim. There's a new aim now. There's an aim for the big money,
You've got
for the big push. Now, what I'm finding interesting is we've just done FIFA. They've just released a new FIFA game. So football, FIFA 18's out. And talking about
That is mad. So how
18,
many years?
yeah, we started on like what?
Yeah, listen to me.
My first FIFA game was 98.
Stop your noise.
98, FIFA 98.
Yeah?
And, I remember it was, I think it was Robbie Williams, the soundtrack. Can you remember
It
that?
was.
PlayStation.
Stop it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I think it was,
Robbie
yeah.
Williams, I'm sure it was the soundtrack.
Right about
If you
now.
know
I
it, I
can't
want
remember.
you to tweet us. And
can't
I
remember
know
the track.
someone's got it at home. Just open
Yeah,
up
but the one, the
case and let's go
standout,
for
the
it.
standout
So
tune. Yeah,
sorry.
no, the standout tune on FIFA was woohoo.
Yes.
That was the standout.
Yes, that was the one. That was the
tune.
banger. That was the banger.
That was the tune. That was the tune.
So they've just done the new game and they've got one Premiership player in the top 10.
Okay.
So the world footballers, the top footballers in the whole world, they get rated on the game.
And who's the Premiership player?
Only one Premiership player is in the top 10. Who is it?
Oh, okay, well, is it English Premiership player? Or
Premiership.
is it just
It's a
Premiership player?
I'm
Premiership.
just saying,
It's a
one
Premiership.
Premiership
what-
player has made the top 10.
Now, Ricky, you get this, man. You're the knowledge up in here.
No, you the
I
knowledge.
know,
You the
but
knowledge.
on box I'm the knowledge. Right?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess at Dele. I'm gonna guess at Dele Ali just because he's had phenomenal 2 seasons at Tottenham. Also his age. The reason I say it, not just because he's Tottenham, but his age, the whole Mbappe thing, and his potential. So I will go with Dele.
Because I like you,
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Try again.
Oh, Shiza. All right.
I'm going to give you another go.
Premiership player
Yeah.
Coutinho.
One more try.
Oh, come on, man.
I gave you 3 chances.
Rick,
One more go.
Come on, breathe, brother. I'm here with
I
you.
know
This
who
is
it is.
tough.
No, it's not, man. Come on,
There's
man.
only
Get this,
one
man.
Premiership player who has made the top 10 on FIFA 18's top 10 list. They've done their top 10. They've rated them all. Only one Premiership player is in the top 10. I know.
It's got. I mean, in the top 10.
Yep.
Well, it has to be Aguero or Kane. It's got to
Now,
be one of them.
You're saying Aguero or Kane. In the gallery, they're saying Sanchez. You're all wrong.
Nah, it's not Sanchez.
You're all wrong. And now they've just got it. Hazard. Hazard is the only one who made it into the top 10. He's not high. I'll tell you his exact number.
I mean, he's a good player.
Exact number.
Go on.
He is at number 10.
Is it number 10?
Number 10. But he made the top 10. Hazard is number 10. Number 1, of course, is Ronaldo. Number 2, Messi.
Right.
Then we've got Crouch in there. Lewandowski's in there. Who else have they put in the last one? They've got who else? They've got Aguero,
Dybala.
Suarez, and Neymar.
Oh,
yeah,
Neymar,
that's about it.
okay.
And Neuer as a
keeper.
goalkeeper, the only keeper who made the top 10. So that's what FIFA have done. So Hazard is your top 10. That's the man who's living life. So you know what? In looking at that, FIFA, we can park FIFA. I'm loving that we would have a FIFA connection there. 'Cause
Come on.
I feel like I need to get back in FIFA. I think I have to get involved. And I'm going to be badding up people. I'm just going to put it out there. If I get involved in FIFA, someone's getting it.
You need to hurry up, bro.
Someone's
You need to
getting
hurry
it.
up, bro. You need to hurry
They
up.
want me back on FIFA. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone getting hurt. So, as I park FIFA to one side, just looking at the season so far, how the season has started, how the season's progressing, if you had to call it and say X is going to win the league, who would you call? It's a horrible question because 4 games in, we don't really know nothing from anybody. But that's the both of you. You've got to just pick a team and own it from now. Who's going to win the league?
I'm going to say one of the Manchester clubs. Am I allowed to say that?
No, you've got to pick one of them
I've
because
got
they
one
can't
of
share a
them.
title.
You'll say City.
I know.
Well,
I'm thinking
either-
about it. I'm going to
Flip's
go
gonna
City.
pick the other one.
Yeah, no, I'll go City.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm actually going Everton.
Was you?
That's-
Are you
going-
mad?
I'm going Everton. You see, you think
Yeah,
I'm mad? I'm telling you, you know why?
controversial.
No,
Talk to me,
I'm
talk to me.
going to tell you why.
Talk to me.
Because Tony Bellew is my boy.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
All right.
And that's that.
All
And I'm
right.
going there.
The most
straight
tactical
standard.
vote I've
That's
ever
right.
seen.
Tony Bellew, I'm going to put that on the Instagram. I'm going to take this little snippet. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to download it. Put
Tony,
it onto it.
3-0, mate. Nice one. Big up yourself. Ericsson.
I like that.
Kane.
I like that. I like that.
Tony Bellew's my man. Straight.
Now,
They
that's-
win in the
Bellew,
league.
I love you. I'm only joking.
Hey, listen, I ain't taking on Belly. So listen. We beat them on the pitch. I don't want to face him anywhere else. If you can come and join the sofa, come and join us. I'm happy. Now, Spencer, I know you've been promoting an event that's happening soon, the Fighting with the Stars.
Boxing stars.
Are you
yeah.
boxing with the Stars? Are you involved?
You see what I'm trying to say to you? No, I'm not. That's Spencer Oliver, my
Now,
buddy.
I heard
Only
that you
fan.
was involved as well.
Nah, you know what? It's like I shout out, tweet out a lot.
Okay,
Spencer
that's
Oliver
what I saw it.
Spencer Oliver's like my little brother, man. Well, like we go years back together, me and Spencer. So he's doing that right now, and I think he's got Katie Price in it. So that's a big name.
Well,
She's just pulled out.
I bet she's pulled out. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I know that because last week he was on my show with me, and so he was talking about that. So it's sad that he has, but I mean, fair play to Spencer Oliver. He's just proper on this.
The only angle I was looking, I'm trying to work out when my man's going to box somebody.
No, you know
Yeah,
what?
because I think you should get involved.
No,
As
soon as we done, I'm going to phone Spencer Oliver. I swear that.
We don't have to phone. Jake Wood's a friend of mine. I used to train at Peacock, all right? I used to train at Peacock Theatre.
Man's got skills. He's got the skills.
Let me just tell you something, though. But we was talking about the fire that you need to get into the ring, right? And you see all of this. This is what earns me money. So I can't jump in.
Head guard and big,
What do you mean?
gloves
You
and
know
gun
head
shield.
guard don't
There's
do
guys
nothing.
That's done it. There's a guy who's actually like who runs the boxing now for Matchroom. Frank Smith never boxed in his life. The guy couldn't even box apples and oranges, right? Yeah. And the guy he went in, he boxed and like he trained really like Spencer sorted him out and he trained really good. And plus you're an actor, so. You being an actor, you should be able to pick, because you can pick up stuff. I'm telling you.
I'll train it and I can act.
I'm telling you,
like,
you can do.
I can act like I can uppercut. You know what I mean?
Sorry, man. Trust me. Sugar Ricky Ray. I can tell you.
Sugar Ricky Ray. Oh my days. Sugar Ricky Ray. That's the one there.
You could go do this. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. And you was down at Peacock, and like I would say, one of the best trainers in the country is a guy called, I would say he's the best trainer in the country, my bona fide as well. Babatunde Ajayi, and he's down at Peacock, and I'm telling you, he could train you and he could turn you into something.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Well, I'm going to say is, we're planting a seed that may grow. That's all I'm saying. We're planting a seed that may grow. Now, just get back to obviously the football. Let's go back to the football. Let's go back to the football. Just to save you, we'll go back into the football. So, we're going to be leaving soon, and obviously this has been our launch. We're starting off the show, we're building it. All I can say, gentlemen, firstly is thank you ever so much for being here. It's a pleasure. I can't do this by myself. I need company. And this has been
I think you can do it by yourself.
I couldn't do it by myself.
You're multi-talented. Seriously. I just pray that the show's going to get really, really big. And I mean, and Ricky promised me backstage as well that he's going to be on it, tweeting it hard, and I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing. And I mean, long may the success reign. You know what I mean, seriously. And I've learned something from football from both of you guys right now.
We try our best.
You know what I mean, because I'm like, man, football. But anyway, I'm
now you're in it.
I'm like that, but not anymore. I'm enjoying this.
And now you got your team now.
Yeah, you know why I got my team even more? Because Holmesdale Road, I got 2 flats on Holmesdale Road that I bought. So therefore, I'm saying, right, cool. And I just want the team to do really well, so it brings up the house prices even more. Because, you know, when some idolizing fan will say, yeah, I want to buy a flat. And they'll say, yeah, buy one. And it's all good.
I've got one boxing question. Am I allowed to ask it?
You got a question?
Yeah, one boxing question.
Right.
Am I allowed to ask it?
I know the question you're going to answer as well.
You don't.
I'm going to let you have it. I do. Go on, have the question.
All right. Conor Benn and Eubanks Jr.
Yeah.
Who would win?
Who would win? Well, it's big weight differences.
No, it's got to be a quick answer. You've got to go for it.
No, but it's two different weights divisions.
All right.
And you know what, on that one, because I know both of them really well, I want to sit on the bench because, you know what, but saying because they're 2 different weights.
I would love it.
It's 2 different weights, but really and truly, if they were to fight each other, because it's 2 different weights, you'd have to say Chris Eubank Jr. He's way bigger than you.
Because they're bigger.
But, you know what I mean, but skills for skills, and I'll say that Chris Eubank Jr. is longer down the line as well because he's a world champion now because of the IBL title, so longer down the line. But
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. You done the PC. You done the PC. You did it well. Now,
I plead the 5th.
I love you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been our first ever Football Weekly show. We've done it live. We've gone for it. You've seen it all happen before your very eyes. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed having a guest with me. I hope you've enjoyed them being here with us. And all I can say is this. Follow these guys on their social media. Rick, what's your social media?
Ricky J. Norwood.
Spencer, what's your social media?
Spencer_Faron.
And these guys will be there if you want to talk more about what we spoke about tonight, if you want to talk about what they've been talking about just in their careers or what they're doing, follow their promotions, follow their careers growing, and please keep following the show. It will only get better. We're building it and we're building it for you. Every fan is a pundit. So if you want to talk to me, if you want to be a part of it, if you want to be on the sofa, come and get involved. We can make it happen because this is how we do it. This is how we roll. This is how we play it. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of our first ever Football Weekly show. We did it live. We did it real. Here it was. Keep tweeting us at Football Weekly. Big up and bless. Love you all.
Whoop, whoop.